Welcome, scholars, to August 15th on Joe's Daily U.S. History Lesson. I am your host, Joseph DiCristoforo, and just to let you know, this is not a poli-sci class. I'm just here to talk about American pride and U.S. history. I mean, history is already controversial enough as it is. It doesn't need my help. And by the way, I assembled this podcast from beautiful San Diego, California. And if you're looking to move here, or if you have any questions about real estate investments or refinancing, check out TeresaLovesRealEstate.com and then give her a call at 619-507-4906. That's 619-507-4906. And let's begin the show with a Pledge of Allegiance, as we normally do. So everyone stand up, face the flags if we have one, put our right hands over our hearts, and begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Very nice. And now on to today's headlines. Henry Ford goes to work. Hanchett patents the dental chair. Woodstock begins. Mark McGuire hits his 30th homer. And Apocalypse Now is released. All right, so now let's get started. 1899. Ford goes to work. Actually, Henry Ford already was working, but it wasn't on cars. He worked for Thomas Edison as chief engineer at the Edison Illuminating Company in Dearborn, Michigan. It was a great job that paid extremely well. But Ford was on call 24 hours a day, making sure the city's electricity was running okay, and didn't have a lot of time to do what he really wanted, which was, of course, working on cars. He had already invented the Quadricycle in 1896, which had an actual gasoline engine. By resigning from Edison's company, Ford gambled it all. He turned down a promotion that would have paid him $1,900 per year. That was huge money at that time. But he turned it down on August 15th, 1899, and got to work. He gathered together a group of investors and established the Detroit Automobile Company. For the next few years, Ford tried competing with 60 other automakers around the country at the time and failed, got back up, failed again, got back up, and finally, a third time in 1903, Ford came up with the Model T. And Tin Lizzy got Ford's business going ahead of the rest. And class, for extra credit, go ahead and check out the Edison Ford Winter Estates in Fort Myers. 1848. M. Waldo Hanchett from Suffield, Hartford, Connecticut, patents the dental chair. He attached a neck extension to a four-legged chair. It was made of wood, so it changed quite a bit throughout the years. The Summer of Love, 1969. Woodstock begins. Groovy, man. Peace, love, and rock and roll. Beginning August 15th, 1969, the Woodstock Music Art Fair took place on a dairy farm in Bethel, New York. Why a dairy farm? Because organizers John Roberts, Joel Rosenman, Artie Kornfield, and Michael Lang were unable to find a venue in the town of Woodstock itself in New York. So, they found a dairy farm about 500 miles out of town. They were expecting around 200,000 people. Wrong. Try 500,000. Not sure the little town of Bethel had ever seen such groovy and peaceful chaos. Jefferson Airplane, Jimi Hendrix, The Grateful Dead, The Who, Janis Joplin, Joe Cocker, Arlo Guthrie, Sly and the Family Stone, and Crosby, Stills, Nash Young were just some of the biggest bands at the time that played. According to Woodstock.com, Woodstock is known as one of the greatest happenings of all time and perhaps the most pivotal moment in music history. Joni Mitchell said, quote, Woodstock was a spark of beauty where 500,000 kids saw that they were part of a greater organism. After all, we all know about the anti-Vietnam sentiments around the country at that time. One of the more magical moments came when Roger Daltrey of The Who belted out Rain on Me in the song Love Rain Over Me, as the rain and mud soaked the crowd. Surprisingly, there are very few violent incidents, with 2 casualties, one who got run over by a tractor, don't ask, and another from a drug overdose. This countered the numbers of hippies who got pregnant during the event. The 25th anniversary of Woodstock wasn't quite as peaceful, with bands such as Nine Inch Nails, Green Day, and Metallica featuring James Hetfield, who got the crowd chanting "Die, die, 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 die" during the song Creeping Death. Good times. Ah, yes, Woodstock. 4 days of music, 500,000 people, rain, and the rest, as they say, is history. And so that, my friends, is going to wrap it up for August 15th on Joe's Daily U.S. History Lesson. Once again, I'm your host, Joseph DiCristoforo. Check out the website, joesdailyushistorylesson.com. Let me know what you thought about today's program. For example, what about that Henry Ford story? Brave New World, anybody? What about Woodstock? Was it really one of the greatest happenings of all time? Was it the most pivotal moment in music history? Did the millions of kids there actually see that they were part of a greater organism, whatever that means? Or is that just the LSD talking? Or what about Apocalypse Now? I heard one time that Martin Sheen's son Charlie has a ginormous movie theater in his mansion, and he would make his porn-starved friends watch the movie with him every single time. Good stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think. You can also take a shot at some of the multiple choice quizzes that are on the website. Good luck with that. And be sure to check out tomorrow's show. I'll talk about the War of 1812, the football tackling dummy, Coca-Cola, the Ramones, and the Miami Dolphins. So don't miss that. In the meantime, you can catch me on Facebook and Twitter. My Twitter handle is JDUSHL. Until then, thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for being great patriotic Americans. I'll see you then.